board. What that basically means is I get together with about 500 of my physics friends every summer, usually in Kansas City, but because of COVID, we had to do it online this year, which was really weird. But I score thousands of exams. So I see all your responses, which means that I'll get on. One year we did about 11,000 of the same question over a 7-day period. So I read what you say. And because I see so many of these and how close so many of you are, I know all the little tips and tricks to help you do well. So that's the key. I know what you need to do well because I've been there. I've been both in your shoes and I've seen all of your writing, and I kind of know where you come from in some of the experiences you have. My classroom experience, I'm in my 26th year of teaching, and I absolutely love it. And I don't love it because I love physics. I love it because I love students. And I really want to help you get through whatever you need to in this weird year that we have so that you can pass that AP Physics 1 exam, get some college credit, and be able to kind of, lessen that load, because we know that the more credits you can get, the less credits you have to pay for when you go to college. So that's one of the awesome things about this. I've taught everything in science, from biology, chemistry, to earth-space science, to computer science, robotics, but mainly physics. And I've been teaching physics for about 20 years. I've been doing AP Physics for about 15 years. We only had one AP class in our high school when we started, and that was biology. And I said, oh, we can't have that. We've got to add another one. Let's add the best one of all. And we added AP Physics. And at the time, it was AP Physics B. For most of those years, we were in the high 90s to 100% passing, with anywhere from 25 to about 90 students. We didn't really have a lot of kids not pass. Now that's changed a little bit with AP Physics 1 because it is a very difficult exam. Another reason why this is a great experience, because I can give you that little bit of bump that might bump you from that 2 to a 3, 3 to a 4, or 4 to a 5. I'm also an instructional coach. Like I said, I do that this year. It's been a fantastic experience. Like I said, we did the Sphero robots today and just had a really great time. I also like to do other things. So I play keyboards at church. I'm a tennis coach, do all kinds of other things. So my life is just not doing physics, although a lot of it really is. Experience with remote learning. Well, I love remote learning, but I love remote learning for the right reasons. And right now we're on a hybrid schedule at my school, which means that one day I see half my kids and the other half do virtual learning. And then the next day I see the other half. And then that first half do virtual learning. So we've set up all kinds of really cool things for them to be able to do. And I will tell you that anything you do in Fiveable really needs to be interactive. Why is that? Because you learn by being interactive. If you just sit and watch me go through a bunch of problems, that might help you a little bit. But what's more important is I let you try to do some of those things. So we have all kinds of online activities that I've been preparing for. I don't know, we've been doing a lot of online things at my school for the past 5 years or so to really get everybody hooked into the best way that you can learn. And that's by doing things, making mistakes, and then going back and fixing that. As a tennis coach, I know a lot of times I could get up and show them how to serve, show them how to hit the ball, but until you actually do that, then you don't know whether you can do it or not. And I don't really know how to help you. So one of my favorite things is Michael Jordan said he can go out and he can shoot 100 free throws, make every single one of them. But if you just watch him do that and you try to do it, there's no way you can replicate that. It's going to be you missing those shots. And that's what we want you to do. Some other things about my remote learning experience. Last year, we did weekly review sessions. We had up to 100 students at a time. So the more students, the better. That's how I love to do these. And we did those interactively. We used something called Pear Deck, and Pear Deck allows you to get on, give some answers without anybody seeing your answers except for me. I get to see those answers, and then I can project your answers and show everybody what you answered, but without your name. And it makes it anonymous. But you learn so much better that way. And that's what we absolutely love. At my school right now, we're doing Zoom on demand, which means that at 8 o'clock tonight from 8 to 9, I get on and we have students come in and we go through things. We talk about the online labs we've been doing, the online learning activities. I'm going to show you just a few of those things here in just a second. Fiveable, I've been able to help out a little bit there too. Last year I did a couple of review sessions and some cram sessions, and it was really fun to see because everybody has really great answers to these things. Sometimes things that work that I never have seen before. And that's why having you guys come out and do this is such a phenomenal experience. The question that you probably want to really know is, what can I expect from this course? So number one, it is 15 weeks of awesomeness. You will learn an absolute ton. Everything we're going to try to do is going to be interactive curriculum, but it won't have all that fluff. So it'll be just what you need. It won't be any more, won't be any less. Now, if you want more than happy to give it to you. But each week will include a lot of practice. So you only get better at a sport or an athletic event or the speech and debate team or the robotics team by practicing. And you have to practice a ton. And if you do that, it pays off in the end. There is a lot of support. You'll have teaching assistants that are your peers. So they are people that have taken, or students that have taken, the AP Physics 1 exam, and they've scored really well on that. So they know what it takes to be successful there. And you have each other. So you have this huge community of learners from all over the country. And because of that, you're able to, if you have a question, maybe you want to check with one of your other learners, you can do that. And that's the awesome thing about it. Fiveable also has 5 reasons to take Fiveable courses. So there's no grades. So there's no stress. And ideally, if I could teach without any grades and just base things on how well you learn stuff, that'd be awesome. So this is that opportunity. You have your own pace, okay? You don't have to worry about the entire class. So you don't have to worry about everybody else and you got to wait for them to catch up. You get to go at your own pace, kind of figure some things out on your own. And if you get behind a little bit, you can always ask for help. We can help you. And if you're way ahead, that's great too. You do have that community. That's so much better than if you self-study. If you think about people that work at Google and Apple and those places, they're not in a cubicle. They're out in open spaces and they're using great big whiteboards and whiteboard desks and things like that so they can do their ideas. And then they take that and they digitize it and they make it into some phenomenal things that they can do. We've also hired some exam readers just like me. And we are going to give you some free response questions like you might see on the exam. And they're actually going to go through and give you feedback on that. There's a lot of different review places and a lot of different things that you can sign up for review, but you won't get that. This is one of those things that I love Fiveable for. There's also no prerequisites for the course. So no matter where you come from or what you've been able to take in terms of what your school offers, there's no prerequisites here. You just come in, you do the things that you're comfortable with, and then if there's anything that you ever need help with, we can provide that too. So let's talk a little bit about some of the things that we can offer to you. One of those things is a lot of online interactive different things that we can show you. So for example, there's a site out there that I absolutely love and it's called the Physics Aviary. The gentleman that wrote it, I know him really well. It's Frank McCulley, and I have written some labs for him in terms of some things that he wanted to see. So you'll notice that there are a lot of different labs here. And there are resources that go with this, and you'll see I actually wrote some of the lab directions, the report sheet, and the spreadsheet for this. But the best part of this little online platform is the fact that when you go in, you can take data just like you would in a real lab. And from that data, you're going to be able to better answer those questions on the AP Physics exam, especially if right now you are stuck in a virtual setting. So if you're not going back to school, this will give you, and I will do a ton of these, this will give you a lot of labs that you'll be able to do and then understand what's going on so that when they say to you on the AP Physics exam, you have an Atwood's machine, how would you determine, and then they'll ask you something. And from this, you'd be able to do that. And that's the most exciting thing that I like about it. The other thing that's on the Physics Aviary is also some homework. So this isn't traditional homework. It's actually you go in and you solve a lab-based problem. So you click begin, it asks you a question, then you end, and then you put in your answer. And if you're right, it tells you. And if you're not, you can go back and do it again. So that's a phenomenal thing also. That's the Physics Aviary. The other thing that we'll put in the curriculum are these little things called concept builders. These are phenomenal. So for example, if I go to relationships and graphs and I go down to calculating slope, one of the things that you need to make sure you can do for AP Physics 1, and this is the basis of a lot of physics, is write an equation. But write an equation using the slope of a straight line. There are different levels for you to do, so I'm going to actually blow this up a little bit bigger, and I'll show you what this looks like. So you go in, this will say guest, and you'll just go ahead and say start, and then there's trophies that you can win. But you have to go in and answer the questions. When you miss a question, so for example, I'm just going to put in 10, it's not going to be right, and it's going to say, oh, drats, you're not right. It's going to let you go back and do that one again. And until you can get all 4 of the different subsets of questions right, you just won't be proficient yet. But once you are, the best thing is you'll feel, first, you'll know what you're doing. But secondly, you'll be able to say, hey, look, I mastered that level. Now I'm going to go on to the next level. So just some things that you can work at your own pace. You don't have to wait for everybody to get done, and you can do them whenever you want to. So I absolutely love those concept builders. They're a great way to go through, kind of see what's going on, and really kind of test yourself and see if you really know what's important and what's not. There's all kinds of topics here. So everything that we would cover in AP Physics 1 is covered in these. There's also some things that would be covered in AP Physics 2 if you're doing that. So those are 2 platforms out of many that we would use during the class. So if you haven't signed up for AP Physics 1, that's one thing I would love to have you do, is sign up for this. You know, there's a coupon code that we're going to go over here again in just a little while. But if you've signed up, hopefully you're excited about what I've talked about so far, and you kind of see some of the things that we're going to do. All right, what kinds of other things are we going to give you? So every week there'll be a 1-hour live session with me. I will go through and we'll talk about a topic that we're doing that week. So it might be kinematics, or how things move and how they accelerate. It might be dynamics, so we'll talk about forces. It might be rotational motion, so we'll look at how things turn. It might be electricity, and that's always shocking. Get it? It's shocking. That was funny. All right, anyway, there are tons of resources from Fiveable. Fiveable has spent a considerable amount of time putting together some of the best study guides that you'll ever see. I also have some things I've learned in NIMSY in terms of tips and tricks and topic specific help. So for example, you are going to be asked a question that will ask you to write a paragraph length response. And a lot of students, when they do that, they don't include everything they need. So we have an acronym, it's called BCD/A, where you do basic physics, you cite evidence, you draw it together and answer the question. And if you do those 4 things, and you kind of know the physics, this works out really well. In lab-based experiments, we go through and we do something called D-square. And in D-square, we teach you how to write a really good response for an experimental design question. Those are the types of things that we can offer for you for resources. There is a unique assessment with feedback provided. So I will write some mock AP questions. Those will be read by Physics 1 readers. So you'll do them. You'll submit your feedback, kind of like what we had to do during the AP test this year, where you'll take a picture with your phone or you'll upload it in some other way, however you can get that to us. And then we will go through and give you some really great feedback with that. There's also teaching assistants. Remember, we said that there are some students your age that have taken the AP Physics 1 exam and done really well. They will have office hours. So you're stumped on something at school, or maybe you're going through something inside of the curriculum that we have for you. Those office hours are meant for you to be able to come in and ask questions and get some really good solutions, or at least a little bit of help with that. There's also going to be some opportunities for you to chat with your peers. You'll be able to talk to those people, say, how you doing? You know, what are you doing in terms of your virtual learning? Are you on actually going to the classrooms? Have you done any labs? You know, what is it that your teacher doesn't do that we can do for you? So those are the kinds of things that we want you to experience. This is a week at a glance, so it just kind of tells you some of the things that we would be doing within a week. You'll see that on Monday, the task for you to do would be to go through and learn a little bit about position, velocity, and acceleration. On that night, I would have a live stream and I would go through some of the basic things. Remember the things that you really need for the exam, not all the fluff. There would be an outline of the key topics. There's an introduction to velocity and speed video. There's another one that goes through acceleration. You can watch as much or as little of those as you want to, whatever it is that will help you. And then for that day, we also have some Fiveable guides that will go through and really tell you a little bit more about Unit 1. On Tuesday, same type of thing, but this one, there would be an office hour. And during that office hour, and it might be later in the day, so, depending on whether you're in school or you are virtual, you might be able to do that if it's during the day, and then there'd be another one for those people that would be offered at night for those of us that are in school all day. Just a little tutorial. So some of those concept builders, some of the things are on Physics Aviary, and you'll see that and more Fiveable guides. Every week you get a free response question. So this one is a lab-based question. You would go through and answer this to the best of your ability. Our readers would go through and use a rubric, so everybody gets graded the same, and they would give you some awesome feedback to kind of tell you what it is you did well and then how to improve your answer. And I think that's really what we want, is we want to be more like your coach. We want to coach you up so that when you go into the big game in the May test, you'll be able to really do well. Now I'm going to give you a little insight. So I know some of the people that create the test, and I also know that they had a big meeting the other day. And I will tell you this year, they're not going to have a little tiny test like they did last year. Last year, there were only 2 questions on the AP Physics exam. They said, even if all the schools have to go virtual the rest of the year, they're still going to offer the full exam. They will do it both online and they're going to do it paper-based. So if you're in school, you'll take the paper-based, and if you're not in school, you will take the virtual version. There will be 50 multiple choice questions still, and still 5 free response. So it's really important that you really start now, and by signing up for this, you will be prepared. I can't say the same thing if you're just relying on your school to do it, mainly because we've got so many moving parts. We started as a hybrid schedule. I found out today kind of early that tomorrow they're going to announce we're going to go back 4 days. Everybody's going to be there, and then we'll have 1 day virtual, and I'm sure that's going to change again. So this is something that you can be certain of. This is something that will help you get ready and help teach you the things, and you will learn those things that you need to know to be successful in the class. All right, some advice. Here's some things that I can tell you. Please know we are here to help. So if you sign up for the class, you'll be set. If you don't sign up for the class and we offer some other things, come check us out. When in doubt, check out the physics websites that are the most helpful. So I found 3, and I will tell you these 3 are probably the 3 most helpful websites. Number 1, my good friend Thomas Palmer, he does an excellent job with flippingphysics.com. He can teach you anything. His videos are really entertaining. There's some of the things that we would have you do. So some of the options that you could use are watching those flipping physics videos. The physics classroom, I showed you that. That's the one where you go in and you get to answer questions. If you don't do well, they say, hey, try again. And until you kind of learn it and understand it, they just keep doing that. The last one is the College Board website. So myap.collegeboard.org. That is where you go for everything. If you are in school and you're actually taking AP Physics 1, your teacher should have you on this if they don't already. It's got awesome resources, has a whole bunch of old AP questions, both multiple choice and free response that your teacher can assign to you and give you some excellent feedback. So those 3 sites I think are the best. Read the discussion board and the course for all kinds of tips, tricks, and the successful strategies to prepare for the exam. We will put a lot of stuff out there, and that's really the way to do it. So hopefully that is some of the things that you need to know. The last thing I'm going to tell you is this worth it? Is it worth paying the money to have this course? Absolutely. The AP Physics 1 exam is one of the most difficult in the AP curriculum. And it's not that the actual stuff is hard. The test is really picky. So this short course will kind of stick to the best and the proven strategies to help you succeed. The activities that you do on the physics classroom and other virtual learning physics sites will help you learn by allowing you to make mistakes. And you have a group of peers and teachers to really help you through the course. So hopefully all of this that I've just gone on and on about for the past 20 minutes helps you kind of understand what we want to do for you. And you got to remember, that's why we're here. If we didn't love students and if we didn't want you to be successful, we wouldn't do this. We do this because we want to see you guys become those leaders and those people that are going to research and find things for us to cure diseases like COVID, you know, to build some awesome structures, to be great lawyers and do all kinds of things. And that is the end of my spiel. So I'm going to send it back to Caroline and just kind of check and see if anybody has any other questions other than the ones that are in the chat.
Christian, you are such a boss. Truly. Hopefully you guys realize that after hearing him talk, because he truly is amazing and has just such a wealth of knowledge on how to teach students and teachers how to be better, and take his word for it when he says he knows the ins and outs of this exam, because he really, really does. So he is such a beneficial person to learn from. So I see that Lena asked how much the course is. It's $55 for the semester, but remember that Amanda gave that code. So it's OH10, like open house 10, and that gets you $10 off of a course. So if you've already enrolled and you want to enroll in another course for fall, or if you want to enroll in a course for spring, you can use that. Or if you haven't enrolled yet, now is your time to shine. OH10 is the code to get $10 off, so it would be $45 for the course, and that's for the entire semester with Christian's amazing teaching, the reader giving you personalized feedback each week, and then the TAs holding review sessions and building up the Slack community. And Aparna asks, are there open houses for every AP course? Almost all of them. I think we have open houses for 21 AP courses. So almost all of them. And then, is the curriculum for the AP going to be shortened this year like it was last year? No. Christian says no, it will not be. So you will be responsible for all of the material and the full length exam.
Yeah, they won't. They're not cutting anything out, and they've already said that. So they did that last year because the COVID bug struck so late. But this year, because we know right off the bat, the committee got together and they said all of the courses will be full length exams that will cover every single topic that is published. I have friends on the committee. I'll put it that way.
He knows his stuff. He knows his people too. And for the open houses, I just posted the link to all of the open houses so that you can see, but almost all of them have an open house. Any other questions that I can answer for you guys? I'm just going to remind you, I'm putting OH10 in the chat. You can copy and paste it if you haven't already signed up. Courses, let me just post that link too. Courses.fiveable.me. You can go there to sign up. Course starts September 8th. Mm-hmm. Which is the Tuesday after Labor Day. So a week from tomorrow. Does kind of look like Ohio.
It does look like Ohio.
Bummer. I love all those Ohioans out there, but I went to Penn State, so.
Uh-oh.
Anyone else have any questions I can answer? Can you register past September 8th? That's a great question. I believe the answer to that is yes. Kate, are you here? I can get that answer for you, Lena. Can they register past September 8th, Kate? Not sure yet. Okay, so try to register before, if at all possible, just because we don't want you to miss critical information. So get registered, use that code, etc. Okay. Any other questions I can answer?
So if you have any other questions, I've put my email there for my NIMSY email. So if you want, if you need any more information or anything, please just send me an email and I'll check it. I'm usually on email all the time, and I can go through and do that for you. Also share this with your friends. So if you have some people that you know would be interested in doing this, we'd love to have them. The more the merrier. You'll learn a lot more. just because you'll see so many different people. I learn a ton from you guys. That's why I love doing this. So you can email me, and if you want to, you can also email Caroline. She's got her email down there, and I will be quiet now.
No, you're great, Christian. Thank you so much. I put my email in there too. I mean, obviously either of us can answer your questions, but we just want to make sure that you guys are excited and ready to go. You'll get more info in emails from Christian, obviously, if you've enrolled, with what to expect from the class and your first meeting time and all of those lovely logistics things that you're probably wondering about. So he'll send all of that out to you guys, so don't worry about that. But otherwise, if you have any questions, shoot us an email. We're super excited. Sign up for the course, share with your friends. It's way better to learn together, especially right now, right? When we're all craving that companionship from others. And we'll have an amazing Slack community too of all the students that you can start to engage with. So thank you so much for spending your Monday night with us. Thank you, Christian, for your amazing presentation.
Thank you, guys.
We will be in touch for sure. Tell your friends, and we look forward to learning with you guys over the course of this semester. Okay. All right. Bye,
Awesome.
everyone.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.